the past, I've talked about using plyometrics training for boxing. Today I want to back up and talk about some fundamentals. Being a fighter is a unique mentality, and I'll continue to talk about this as we go along. Today I want to talk about what makes a fighter athletically, and also we have to realize that beyond 6 rounds, the whole game is different and much more extreme. You can't just take a strong guy like a bodybuilder and have him do resistance training and then he's going to be a fighter. It has never worked that way. First of all, you don't want to carry all those extra muscles around the ring, especially in a 30-minute effort. Building a fighter is a balancing act. You've got to balance stamina and strength and agility and speed. Different fighters and different trainers try to work with different balances of these fundamentals, but there still have to be compromises. There still has to be a balance between them. The post-war era fighters had to have a certain durability because they fought so often. This speaks to an efficiency in the way they move. Fight crowds back then were very knowledgeable, and they demanded that the fighters put it all out in the ring. Okay, so let's look at this, how to build a young fighter from the ground up. In the old days, functional strength was developed through doing farm and ranch work. Work involving the whole body, especially the core and the back. In the more modern era, weightlifting is used to try to replace this functional strength that fighters used to have. It doesn't work exactly the same way, and I often think that the weight training programs used by boxers are incorrect, but I'll talk more about that later. Let's talk about some basic information about weight training for this application that you need to know before we go further. Okay, so the basic rubric for plyometrics is you want them to be able to squat 2/3 of their body weight once. So in Lila's case, that's 84 pounds before they jump off anything higher than a 6-inch box. Conditioning is a very gradual toughening process. When a kid starts young, you bring them along slow with body weight exercises first. This strengthens connective tissue and increases the number of muscle attachment points before you put any kind of heavy load or stress on them. When building the fighter, you train the legs first because they are the wheels and they've got to be tireless. The exercises have got to get progressively harder. For an endurance sport like boxing, take a weight that they can curl 10 times, then they work to be able to squat that weight 80 to 100 times. This is just part 1 in this series, and stick with me and we're going to get into more boxing specific training.